We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Live from the GME studio, it's Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Are you an entrepreneur who has felt like you were all alone on your business adventure? Well, you're in the right place.
You know, being an entrepreneur can be lonely and challenging at times, looking for people to bounce ideas off of and get feedback.
Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs,
the show designed by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs just like you.
Keep watching for your dose of entrepreneurial fun with the roving reporters and, of course, Kim and Kerry.
As we like to say around here, buckle up, Buttercup.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Thank you for joining us for this amazing show, which happens to be number 51. And today's theme of the show is celebrating new connections. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited. Good morning.
Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Kim. I am super excited, Kerry.
Oh, good. Not the only one. I might have had too much coffee today. I'm just going to confess up front, so we don't know what this is going to look like because over-caffeination equals non-English. Let me say that.
We might have a surprise for you, Kerry. Whenever you see the video, you're going to love the new intro for the next segment. I'm just saying.
Oh, now I'm even more excited because there's surprises and new connections and all kinds of things going on. So are we heading into our first segment called Entrepreneur Land? Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for today's Entrepreneur Land. So we do have a little I'm under caffeinated and I'm at a loss for words, Kerry. So you're over caffeinated, I'm under caffeinated. But I think we are kicking Entrepreneur Land off talking about another coffee related theme today. It's all about the coffee today. Is that there was an article that the CEO of a coffee company sent to its employees, and it resonated with me. So one of the things that resonated in the article was when the CEO was talking about the importance of keeping your core values, but also changing how things are done from time to time. And that resonated with me because I feel like here at My Sexy Business, we are a prime example of switching things up while retaining our core values. So we're always trying to change something here, something there, just one level up. But yet we're holding on to what we really believe at the heart of everything.
And Adam had sent me the article over the weekend and I woke up to it Monday morning and I thought that was pretty amazing, Adam. So thank you for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.
So guys, that's awesome because you know how much I love coffee. So I'm going to have to get a hold of that article. And I think it's time we step into Good Morning Entrepreneurs Chronicles or GME Chronicles.
Thank you, Kim and Kerry. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. I am Jill Olish, and we have some updates to share today on March 8th, 2024. The GME Chronicles is the celebration of moving the needle in our businesses, and we want to share these numbers out loud to show what is possible when we come together. Last week was the 50th episode of GME, and boy, was it a celebration. If you get the chance, go watch the replay on YouTube. Along with that show, there were also Donna's Show and Tell, Denise's Virtual Scavenger Hunt, and Kat and Yvonne's Salty Sisters live stream. Kat and Yvonne also hosted their Clubhouse room on Monday. Donna had her room on LinkedIn on Tuesday, My Sexy Business was in the Not Creepy room on Clubhouse on Wednesday, followed by mine and Linda's room on Thursday. The total of 16 events this week also included past Pilates classes, 6 mastermind sessions, a sticky note time accountability group session, and a website royalty workshop. 6 new podcast episodes dropped last week. Go give them a listen. The Late Bloomer Living, Sisters in Service, Mucked Up My Self-Care, The Money Barista, and Buckets and Boom Gates. We also have the 5 and 15 interview leadership series with Jill and Kim. The rumor has it that season 5 of Bearing It All with Call Me Adam is coming soon, like really soon, which might also mean that there is a book connected to it not far behind. The masterminders in round 23 and 24 are building some big things as we approach the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit in April. This week's total of 51 brings the grand total to 3,831 amazing things. We look forward to more updates next week. If you are ready to join in on the fun around here, coming up this week is the My Sexy Business TNT website workshop. Also, add to your calendar the Groundwork Brigade Mastermind Open House on April 3rd and 4th. We hope to see you at one of these coming up. Back to you, Carrie and Kim.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like
Wow.
cheers and the whole community.
Cheers.
Yes.
So I'm going to confess, you can see my ginger in the top of mine, so it looks dirty, but it's just ginger, y'all.
So Jill's over at the GME news desk, Chronicles news desk, and she also has our question of the week from one of our viewers. So I cannot wait to hear what it is today. So Jill, will you share with us the question of the week?
Here's a question from one of our viewers this week. I have an idea for a business. How do I know it will work?
Oh my goodness. I love this new element, y'all. I just have to speak to that quickly. I love the new format of the questions because we're getting a lot of questions that we want to make sure we answer. So I am going to say I have tried and failed at many things. Let me just say that out loud. But I have learned so much over my lifetime. There are several signs that something will work. Are people asking you for your solution? Like, are they wanting you to share? Have you gotten feedback on what it is your idea is? Because sometimes we can hear things like from somebody else's lips that we don't realize. And are you really listening to what the marketplace, the humans, and whatever industry is saying? Those are my best suggestions.
Well, Kim, I agree with you on the trying things, because there was one thing that I tried in one iteration and it did not work in that format, but I was so passionate about the idea and I felt like it had to work somewhere that I then tried it as another thing and it's working so much better. But if I didn't put that idea out there initially, I would have never known that it wasn't going to work in that one space, but it is working in another space.
Oh, I love that, Adam. And I have to agree with both of you. So doing this research, and sometimes we need to make changes. Sometimes we, try something. We don't know if it's going to work, essentially. Nobody has the crystal ball. But I love what Kim said about listening and asking and doing that bit of research, because it may mean once you actually launch the thing, you might need to make changes. And speaking of changes, let's head over to our roving reporter with our segment about entrepreneurship later in life.
Yvonne Marchese, age agitator, podcast host, community builder,
branding photographer, published author, event speaker, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Kerry. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I'm your resident age agitator, here to talk about later in life entrepreneurship. You know, as you get older, you develop some habits that are hardwired. And if you're trying to develop a new habit, here's a little trick. Oh, wait a minute. What is this thing behind me? Oh, it's a ukulele. I am trying to learn how to play the ukulele. I'm trying to develop a new habit of practicing every day. So you know what I do? I keep it where I normally am so that throughout the day, it's there, it's visible. Sometimes it's just about putting things where you can see them, or marrying new habits with old habits. For example, it's great for bone health to stand on one leg every day. So you can marry the habit of standing on one foot with the habit of brushing your teeth, because you do that every day. You're supposed to do it for 2 minutes. You can stand on one foot, each foot for 1 minute. There you go. Give it a try. Back to you, Kim and Kerry.
Thank you, Yvonne. Oh my goodness. And I forgot to mention that Yvonne is one of our Salty sisters. So was that this week, guys, or is it coming up next week?
Salty Sisters, their next live stream is next Friday, March 15th at 11 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, thank you, Adam. That's awesome. And I'd also like to mention that Yvonne actually had her Late Bloomer Living podcast episode number 175 drop this week, which I believe she was talking about inspiring action with Susie DeVille, if I'm not mistaken. And that's definitely something that we would love everyone to tune into. Yvonne does an amazing job with her podcast.
She does. And can I add one little disclaimer that if you are going to try to brush your teeth and stand on one leg, to make sure that you have something to hold on to in case you start to lose your balance, and also maybe just check with your doctor or physical therapist to make sure you are able to stand on one leg at a time. So we don't want anybody getting hurt.
Terry, I think Adam was watching me brush my teeth. I needed to hold on.
I think he was watching me this week as well, Adam. I feel like you're in all our bathrooms.
But I will say, not that I'm not going to say anything more about the bathrooms, but have you seen, actually, Yvonne has been starting to do some reels on her social media of playing the ukulele. So it's very exciting to see her incorporate those building new habits and putting stuff out there with her ukulele.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for adding that, because it has been an absolute joy to watch. And we're going to head over to the other Salty sister with our segment on health and wellness for entrepreneurs.
The friggin' fabulous Kat Corchado, proud US Air Force veteran, health and wellness professional, founder of Small Space Pilates, podcast host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Kerry. Hi, everybody. How are those stretches working for you? I hope you're able to get up and do at least one of them, because you'll be so glad you did, and your body will thank you afterwards. So today we're going to continue with a side stretch with just a little bit of a twist. So what you can do is take one arm beside you and one arm up over your head. Now, the one thing I do want to say is make sure this is an effective stretch for you, and make sure you check with your physician and or physical therapist to make sure this works for you. So I want you to take your feet, let me move back so you can see, about hip width distance. No, I don't have shoes on, but it's okay. So arm up above your head, and you're going to reach. Don't let your hips go out to the side. So this already feels familiar, right? So you're stretching, it feels good. Now, just twist and look up underneath your armpit. Do you feel that stretch? And bring it up, and then switch side. And notice which side is tighter. So you're reaching to the wall Now just turn your head and look underneath your armpit and bring it up and back down. So I hope this helps, and let me know how this is working for you. So back to you, Kim and Kerry.
My goodness, Kat does such amazing stretches, y'all. I've been trying some of the ones that she's shared with us, and I'm very excited because she shares her secrets. And you all know, I want to make sure y'all know that episode 137 of her Sisters in Service podcast dropped. She has special episodes called Why Not Wellness. And did you know she talked about how to stay motivated on your fitness journey? Have y'all listened yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to now that you mentioned what the topic is.
Same. It is so good. She gives like lots of different things to consider. And anyway, she motivated me on her Why Not Wellness special episode, y'all. And she kicked my booty on Monday too. Let's just be very clear. So these two salty sisters, don't forget, Yvonne and Kat will be on a live stream next Friday. You don't want to miss that. And we're going to head over to a quick commercial, and we will be back in a minute.
This show is sponsored by Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. Are you an entrepreneur who is focused on making an impact,
but you haven't figured out how to make an income doing it?
We spent years trying to figure out how to do both.
And we realized the business adventure is not a one-size-fits-all. I'm Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team.
And I'm Kerry Zarb, Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
And she's a brilliant entrepreneur, by the way.
We both understand how it feels to believe we are the only ones who can't figure things out.
So we decided to join forces so we could get in the trenches with you.
We lead a very special mastermind group so you can be confident in strategically implementing
the right things in the right order so that you too can get the best possible results.
We cover a variety of topics based on what you need,
including building a business that you own and doesn't own you.
We even address things like social media strategy and simple tech solutions.
If you would like to meet other entrepreneurs who are living proof of what is possible,
come and join us at Groundwork Brigade Mastermind Open House.
Oh my goodness, I love it. The next one's coming up the first week in April. Y'all don't want to miss the open house, just saying. But speaking about one of those Groundwork Brigade crew members, let's head over to our next segment on helping entrepreneurs be found online.
Denise Malaya, findability queen, tech simplifier, game show host, published author, website builder, founder of M Media Group and GME roving reporter.
Good morning, entrepreneurs. So glad you could be here with me today. Today, I want to revisit a topic that we've gone through once or twice before, but I want to make sure you understand it. Keywords. What are they? How do they impact us? And why do you need them? Keywords are the words or phrases that identify what is in your content piece that you've created so that search engines can classify it or catalog it in their library for your searching customers to potentially connect with it. So if you think about a podcast episode that you create, there's a main theme that makes it relevant for your business that you've created this episode. And when you were to do the show notes for that episode, you would include words that your potential customer might use in search that would give them that podcast episode. So do you see the connection? You put the words, phrases, terminology into your content that your searching customer or client is using in a search engine, and that connection can be made. So when the search engine sees it, and you do the techniques that we talk about for findability and put your keywords in the right places, then the search engine reads them, puts it in the library, and then when your customers and clients search, they have the chance to be served your content up as a solution. If they can't find you, they can't do business with you. Back to you, Kim and Kerry.
Oh my gosh. I love Denise Millay because of her segments, but more so, look what I got. Her book finally arrived. Oh, Carrie has it too.
I got one too. Oh my goodness, me too, Adam. And I received my copy direct from Denise yesterday, in fact. I can't wait to check it out. Thank you so much, Denise, for sending this to me all the way across the globe, guys. Like, how impressive is that? Talk about be findable. Denise just found my front door and came into my office. Yay!
Oh my God, so exciting.
Can we just laugh and say, though, this is the book that Carrie has tried to order for the whole time the book has been out, and she even made herself a little cardboard pretend book to share when we were showing the covers, and like, so I am so glad that you got it, and I'm so glad you got it, Adam. I don't have mine close to show, but I have one too.
I love it. And speaking of sharing amazing things, it is time to go to our next roving reporter on our segment for conversations and storytelling for entrepreneurs.
Linda Bonney is a published author, conversationalist, writer, storyteller, podcast host, production manager, and GME roving reporter.
Good morning, entrepreneurs. I recently read something which said, if you're not listening, you're not really having a conversation. It's a bold statement, that's for sure. And I would love to touch on that quickly in this segment, because listening is hard. It takes a lot of effort. We have a lot of distractions around us now with social media and even the landscape around us. As a mother, I know that I'll often have children around me who interrupt our conversations. So how do we listen better? I think one of the biggest things is to focus. Really pay attention and be present. A misconception out there is that being present means not being on social media or on your phone. However, it's about not thinking about what you're going to do later in the day or what you're going to say next. Take one word at a time and listen to the other person and their response and what they are actually saying. Take notice of their body language. Comment on their shirt or their shoes. Have a think about how you can listen better and what that will mean for your business as an entrepreneur. That's it for now. Back to you in the GME studio.
So I have to say that this is funny that she brings up listening this week, when that was one of the answers that we kind of all three gave with the question of the week. That is part of what really we have to do as a business owner, is to listen. So I love that she brings this up, and you know what? We can all get better at listening, just saying. And speaking of listening, Linda has a podcast called Stories with the Sunday Roast that is amazing, that she has, using Adam's word, parlayed into collections of stories, which rumor has, I just want to say, rumor has it that there was a button push this morning for collection number 3 to go out into the world. So I know I'm so excited. Congratulations, Linda. We just have to say that. Everybody don't rush out yet. It will be here soon, but she did finalize it. So that's very exciting. And one of the beautiful humans highlighted in one of Linda's books, called, with the same name, Stories with the Sunday Roast, is our next roving reporter in our segment on surprise and delight marketing.
Donna Bender is a certified givologist, branded product specialist, corporate marketing trainer, creator of The Giving Plan, show host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Kerry.
This is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is about a very powerful marketing tool. What if I told you that tool was right within your reach? It's not a boring webinar with a high price ticket or an online campaign. It is so close to you, you can touch it. Are you ready? Okay, it's your clients, your employees, and your network. What? Yes, I'm talking about transforming those who already know and love your brand into the most passionate brand ambassadors. Let's start with your clients. When your client receives a heartfelt gift and posts their excitement as they take a video unboxing a beautifully wrapped package from you on social media, this does more for your brand's appeal than any type of paid advertising. Think about it. Their audience, network, and followers are now following you. Your employees can be great ambassadors, especially when they received a job well done kit filled with some very cool items. So when Susie from HR posts on her socials a picture of the new tech gadget you gave her, that's not an ad. It becomes more of a trusted recommendation. Then, of course, there's your own network that you gave a great piece of personalized drinkware. Say your recipient is using the drinkware in their daily routine and they jump on a Zoom call. Your reach is growing exponentially. Your clients, employees, and network can become your most powerful marketing assets. Along with the visibility, engagement, and trust in your brand, well, that is priceless. So, how will you show your appreciation today? Back to you, Kim and Kerry.
Oh my God, Donna Bender. I just love her so much. And, you know, she gives some of the best tips about how to build relationships by giving. And one way that she does this is every Tuesday, she has a room on LinkedIn Audio. It's called New Nuggets. And she and Kim are having live conversations in the room about all the different ways you can build relationships by giving. So, Kim, do you have anything you want to add about the rooms?
It's just been really fun. We're just learning, but like the tech side of it. But Donna has so much wisdom. If you come and learn one tiny little new nugget, I'm telling you, and you implement it, it's a game changer.
I agree. And speaking of conversations, this next commercial that we're going to is a podcast that has conversations about business finances.
Do you struggle to understand your business finances? Are you sick of not being able to keep up with the beans in your business? Tune in to the Money Barista podcast for your weekly coffee combo about business finances. This is where coffee meets money. Hosted by Kerry Zarb and Kim White in the virtual cafe, we invite you to join us at our table with your favourite brew. Because we understand your finances are as private as your underwear. This is why we share these personal conversations with you, so that you can get in control of your business finances. We chat about the real issues we've faced with our flippin' digits and discuss everything in a simple way to help you on your BizBeans journey. As Princess Kim would say, buckle up, and I'll say, come on, let's go, it's coffee time. Catch the Money Barista podcast on your favourite podcast channel today.
I just love that commercial. Let me tell you, Kerry, I love the music in your commercial. I know nobody could see me do this, but in the green room, I was bopping along. I absolutely, absolutely love it. So great job on the music. And of course, all the information that you give on the podcast as well. Let me not forget that.
It's all about the music, Adam. It's all about the music.
Well, speaking of our little Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine, I think it's time we head over to the virtual cafe for today's segment from the Money Barista herself, Kerry Zarb.
Kerry Zarb is a rock star podcaster, brilliant entrepreneur, director of Zinc Business Solutions, cover girl, mastermind leader, and GME roving reporter. Let me introduce you to Kerry Zarb, the money barista. In her famous words, let's go, it's coffee time. She also says happy biz beans to you because she's a financial guru. She hosts the Money Barista podcast. She has the Money Barista savings tool that she created and has saved over $100,000 for this community. She also is the leader of the Money Barista Club, where she helps everybody get in control of their finances, and she's the author of the Money Barista book, All Things Money and Coffee. She loves beans of all kinds.
Welcome to the Virtual Cafe for this week's segment about business finances. And today I want to talk about, are you using the right tool to work on your business finances? There's so many options when it comes to this space. Are we using pen, paper and a calculator? Do we have a little spreadsheet? Maybe we're using an accounting platform. I want you to find the right tool that works for you, something that you actually want to open to work on the business finances. If you're using a tool that you feel may not be right for you, maybe it's time to try something else. Maybe ask others that you know that are in business, ask them what they're using. What works for you in your business finances is the gold behind actually working on the digits. So if you're thinking of changing platforms, changing methods, systems or processes for your business finances, I also want you to consider what that looks like. Changing things in our business finances can make a significant difference when it comes to actually working on them. You need to make a plan in your calendar for what that's going to do to your regular schedule. That's all today from the Virtual Cafe. Back to you guys in the GME studio.
So, Kerry Zarb, using the right tool has made all the difference for me. So thank you for sharing this and getting this out into the world. Do you have anything quick to say? Because we actually have something to share with the world about you. I'm just going to say. So do you want to respond to your segment before we go to our special surprise for the Money Barista herself?
Just give me the surprise, guys. Give me the surprise. Give it.
All right. Well, I get the surprise. I'm pulling it up. What? Here
Just
we
pull
go.
Pull the ticker down.
Wait a minute. I have to. I have too many things to do at the moment. Hold on one second. Okay. Now let me get the file. Here we go. I think we need to play it one more time because I think it skipped when it first came on. So I think it deserves a second round.
Congratulations, Kerry. We were naughty behind the scenes and did not tell Kerry what we were doing, but Kerry, we're so proud of you because this is like a milestone moment and we don't want to miss it.
Well, and I have to say, that's funny that you did that because before we rolled into the studio, it was sitting behind me on this little cabinet and I'm like, oh, I got to get that out of the way. So I just popped it, like the actual certificate, I popped it to one side and I was like, oh yeah, that happened this week. Like, it's funny, we just kind of breeze over these things. So thank you, guys.
Not on our watch, Kerry.
Can I add one?
I said you can't breeze over them on our watch. We're not going to let you.
Can I add one thing to Kerry's segment about using the right tool? I just want to say that I definitely believe I am using the right tool. And that is a tool that Kerry created that you can only get from her Money Barista Club. And because of this tool, I have been able to keep up with my business finances. And I'm not just saying that because we're in Kerry's segment and Kerry's here, but this is the honest to God truth, is that until I met Kerry, I could not keep up with my business finances and being consistent with them. And it's because of the tools that Kerry has in the club that has enabled me for the past year. I'm going on my second year of being consistent every month with my business finances. And it makes such a difference to know exactly where my beans are going. So thank you, Kerry, for everything you have done to help me.
Well, I want to say congratulations to Adam for hitting a year of working on his business finances. High five to that. Did that work?
Yes, some way.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Adam. And it means so much. It's music to my ears, but I'm so proud of you because you've been putting in the work, by the way. Like maybe, yes, we've definitely got the club and there's tools available. However, you've been turning up consistently and doing that work yourself. So your dedication to this as well needs to be commended. So thank you. And speaking of using the right tools, I know this next roving reporter is helping a lot of people after their life in service. So let's go to our segment called Military Minute.
Kat, I want to say thank you for wearing the uniform. You are such an amazing human. I love that I have gotten to watch you get married to entrepreneurship. I think having that ability to watch someone you care about grow and prosper and do the things that they can do, that's a big deal to me.
Well, thank you, Kim. I kind of equate it when you talked about growing is when someone who's never been in the military before goes into boot camp. And after boot camp, you go to whatever your specialty is, and you're growing each time you move, each time you gain a stripe or whatever, an award or anything, that you're growing as a person, not only just in the military, but for yourself. At least I hope so. And I think business is like that also, that I felt like I was in boot camp again and realizing that I have grown as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a person. I equate that to boot camps.
Oh my God. I love hearing about Kat's military life. And once again, Kat, I would like to thank you for your service. And, I actually thought of Kat recently because I was watching Dolly Parton's Pet Gala special, and Dolly had a segment on the special all about the importance of military dogs. And the minute I hear the word military, I think of Kat. So I just want to let Kat know that, Kat, the word military comes up and I think of you automatically. So thank you for always being in my mind and in my thoughts. And speaking more,
Adam, can I interrupt? I'm sorry.
Yes,
I just
please.
want to make sure everybody knows that Military Minute is actually sponsored by the Sisters in Service podcast. We forgot to run the ticker that shared that. So I want to make sure that goes into the show, that is actually Kat's podcast that's for military and military families and military brats. I love when she says that. But I want to say that out loud.
Thank you. So speaking of the military, I have heard that they run a tight ship. Well, there are some mamas out there who also run a tight ship at home, but this particular mama is about to share with us how she is unlearning the unnecessary pressure in this roving reporter segment for mama entrepreneurs.
Jill Olish is the founder of Mama Outspoken, executive team leader, postpartum awareness advocate, vision board party host, event coordinator, podcast host, GME associate producer, and roving reporter.
Thanks, Carrie and Kim. Although I really like diamonds, I don't need to be under so much pressure like one actually does. I think as parents and entrepreneurs, there is a ton of pressure put on us and that we also put on ourselves. Which can we actually control? In my opinion, I think we can control both because I think we can set up boom gates for the pressures of life around us, and we can shift our expectations to control the unnecessary pressure that we end up putting on ourselves. We, of course, have responsibilities and deadlines, and with practice, I believe we can set ourselves up to have flexibility in our schedules around those things. I think it's just a tad easier as entrepreneurs to avoid the pressures we might have in the corporate world. But in all honesty, I believe that sometimes we find ourselves applying similar pressures on ourselves in our own businesses. Maybe it's something we need to unlearn because there's no one watching over our shoulders or greeting us. So what kind of boom gates can you put into place today to start unlearning that unnecessary pressure? Back to you, Kim and Carrie.
Thank you, Jill. And I love this because I listen to the podcast. Her and Linda Bonnie have a podcast called Mucked Up My Self-Care. And they were talking about, different lists that they have of ways that they take care of themselves. Well, I have to tell you, it has inspired me to look at how I'm taking care of myself. I hate to say this very loud, so let me whisper this. Something that I do need to make sure I'm adding to my week, though, of taking care of myself. And I'm going to take a playbook. I'm going to take a page out of Yvonne's playbook and add it to this. I'm going to add fun. That's part of my self-care. So fun things to my week is what I'm adding. And I think our next roving reporter is bringing the fun today in entrepreneurs in entertainment, y'all.
Adam Rothenberg is a media personality, interview king, clubhouse manager, published author, event coordinator, red carpet correspondent, GME associate producer, and roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. It's Adam, and I am back in the closet for yet another edition of Behind the Curtain. And today I want to talk about the new off-Broadway show, The Life and Slimes of Mark Summers, who you know from hosting Nickelodeon's Double Dare and Food Network's Unwrapped. Well, before the show begins, audience members can put their name into a jar and be randomly selected to participate in one of the games that happens throughout the show. Well, I really wanted to be selected because I grew up watching Double Dare. And at one point during the show, and here's the behind the curtain story, they call my boyfriend's name. Well, Angelo didn't want to go up on stage, so he told me I should go up and pretend to be him. So that's what I did. And I got to live out my childhood dream of being on Double Dare, having Mark Summers ask me trivia questions, and taking the physical challenge. Now, the game we played was the one where one person sits on the bench and the other person is pouring jars of milk into a bottle. And whichever team gets the milk above the line wins. Well, since I grew up watching Double Dare, I knew I had to keep my head perfectly still. So I did, and we won the game. And then during the trivia part of the show, we didn't know the answer. The other team didn't know one of the answers. And therefore, we got to take the physical challenge. And I had to flip pies into my partner's oversized pans. Well, once I got the hang of how to throw the pies, we ended up winning the whole game. And I, like I said, got to live out my dream of being on Double Dare. It was everything I could have hoped for and more. So that is today's Behind the Curtain story. It's back to you in the studio.
Oh my goodness, Adam, that is hysterical.
It was so much fun. And literally, I went up on stage. They asked me my name. I said my name was Angelo. They asked me what I did. I mentioned where he worked. And actually, I'm glad I did because that gave Mark and I a little bit of banter to have at the show when he asked what I did. And then, of course, afterwards, Angelo's like, that's not exactly what I do. And I'm like, yeah, but it created a great moment between Mark and I, so it's fine.
Oh my goodness.
Do you
So
have a picture? That's not usual. Do you have a picture, Adam?
I do, actually. So this picture here is actually of me and Mark in 2018. That was the first time I got to interview him. He was doing presenting, he was like the host of Drew Gasparini's show at 54 Below. Mark was hosting. It was Mark Summers Presents Drew Gasparini, and they have worked together. And Drew actually wrote the music for the off-Broadway show, The Life and Science of Mark Summers. So this is when I got to interview both of them together in 2018, and it was so nice to meet him. I mean, that was my first time meeting him here. I grew up watching Double Dare. It was an amazing experience, and I don't have confirmation yet, but I am trying to work out doing a new interview with Mark about the off-Broadway show. So when that gets confirmed, I hopefully will have a new picture to share.
Very exciting, Adam.
It is, and I'm a little bit confused. I just need a timeline clarification here, Adam. So when you interviewed him, was it after that you went on the show, or before?
So I interviewed him in 2018, and then the show that I'm talking about, off-Broadway show I'm talking about now, that just started this year. So that was just a few weeks ago that I went to see the one-man show where I got to go up on stage. So
Gotcha.
That's the time frame. And that picture was from 2018 when I met him.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. So good. And Adam, thank you for sharing your behind the curtain with us every single week. Like, I feel privileged to be in the studio and get this and obviously be broadcasting this out to those tuning in as well. I think it's just amazing what you do. And the podcast, Adam, we need to talk about Adam's podcast for a moment, because Adam, you are doing such an incredible job. And how many interviews now? What are we up to? What's the number? Like, it's just, it's amazing.
The tally is still at, I'm saying, over 1,500. I am not in a place yet where I can do a full recount, but it is coming. It is on my sticky note to do this year, to do a recount. So a new number will be coming soon. But can I just tell you one more quick behind the curtain about the show? When I got off stage, Angela was like, you should have just said your name and what you do, because of my interviews, and since you already interviewed him. And I was like, yes, but then I would have felt awkward, because I would have said my name's Adam, and they would have been like, they had the card of the person they called on stage, and it would have been, well, we called Angela, why are you up here? That I felt would have been more awkward. So plus it was fun to be somebody else for a moment.
And of course, with his permission.
Of course, 100%. I would not have done it without his permission.
Thank you, Adam. Oh, my goodness. So let's roll over to another podcast. Thank you for tuning into GME. Oh, Good Morning Entrepreneurs. That's where you are. And we'll be back in 1 minute after this quick commercial. Once upon a time, there was a princess from Oklahoma living a traveling life in Texas.
When along comes an Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
When these two girls from opposite ends of the globe met in February 2021,
even the universe did not know what it was in for.
Determined to solve world problems for entrepreneurs, we still to this day learn just how similar we are.
We have found our passions were too strong not to unite and become the partners in change that we are.
What is a bucket and a boom gate?
So a bucket is basically a category or a way to change how you're looking at something big.
And a boom gate is a way to protect ourselves. Sometimes we need a boom gate to protect ourselves from ourselves.
We have lots of experience of our lifetimes of business, and we want to share that with you.
We look forward to bringing you weekly episodes of the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast.
Oh my gosh. So before we get to our next segment, I just have to say that Kim and Kerry are prime examples of today's Princess Speak Word. They met on an audio app, and after discovering, like they say in the commercial, just how similar they really are, they joined forces for the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast. And now it's time to see the connection between them and today's Princess Speak Word. So we are going to move in to Princess Speak.
So I have to say, Princess Speak, for anyone who doesn't know, is a simple business language for entrepreneurs that our community uses on the daily. And we have pulled some of those words. And I have to confess, this one is mine. I try really hard to highlight other people's words, but this one's mine. And y'all can laugh later. But this week in Groundwork Brigade, which is our mastermind community, I want to say this word came up because bones is the word of the week. And Carrie and I might have sang a silly, Carrie sang while I laughed, a silly kids song, but we sang it together. And it's probably been a year ago, Carrie, that we recorded that. But I'm laughing because if you guys have ever heard the song, and see, I don't even know the names of the bones. I'm not good at this part. Your hand bone's connected to your arm bone's connected to your shoulder bone, whatever the bones really are. Y'all don't write me hate mail because I don't know the words, but it's one of those things that in your business, if you don't create those connections, you literally are leaving parts out of your business. So I think connecting the bones, singing a song, it's a great visual, y'all, for understanding. If we leave any connections off, we may be leaving an arm off for our business, or maybe leaving a leg over in the corner. So simple, basic connections keep us dancing. The little skeletons were dancing in the video, y'all. Dancing in this entrepreneurial adventure.
And can I just add, Kim, that I have been learning so much in this community about connections. Not only have I met new people from being in this community and making new friends, but I've been understanding some parts of my business and website could use some extra love so visitors don't come to a dead end. And could I give a specific example of what I discovered this weekend? So I definitely left a leg over here to my website because all of a sudden I get a text message from my dad saying, your click here button for your podcast doesn't work. And I thought to myself, what is he talking about? So I went to click it, and it took me not to my podcast page. It took me to my 404 page, which is basically like an error page. And so I discovered that I have been directing people who want to listen to my podcast to go to my 404 page probably for a year, if not definitely several months, because I haven't touched that button since I set it up. So needless to say, I quickly rectified that and changed the click here button to now go to my podcast page. So now when you come to my website, you will be able to get to the podcast from that button. But if my dad hadn't told me, and I'm very grateful that he takes the time to look through my site and tell me things that give me his feedback on it, I would have never known. So I'm glad that the leg got reconnected.
I love that, Adam. And I will tell you that thank you, Mr. Rothenberg, for helping your boy get this right. But I also want to say, Adam, that because a lot of us listen to your podcast on the podcatchers, we wouldn't have caught it because we don't go to that particular button. So I think that that's a great example for everybody.
Thank you.
And the other thing I wanted to add, guys, is just a few words of encouragement for those out there that find these things that are disconnected. Don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up, because we all have these little disconnections that happen. Sometimes we set up a new page and maybe we make new buttons and new links, and then maybe we change it down the line. We forget to go back to that one page. So there's lots of things that need to be connected in our business, and slowly we can work through those pieces and maybe ask a friend. If you don't have a Mr. Rothenberg that can help you, perhaps ask a friend if they wouldn't mind looking at your stuff and making sure that things aren't broken for you. So I think we've all got someone we can potentially reach out to and lend a helping hand. Likewise, swap it over. You might do the same for them. So I think there's lots that we can do to help each other make sure that our connections are connected.
Actually, Carrie, you bring up a good point, because I know I've done that for other people. If I've seen something, I certainly haven't mentioned it. But one thing that I love about being in this community is that sometimes during Groundwork Brigade, during that time, sometimes we have that moment given to us where you and Kim will say, today we'll do whatever is on the agenda for the day, but then we're going to take the last half hour, or we're going to take the last hour, and everybody's going to go through their website and check things out and see how everything is connected. And I just feel so grateful that you provide a space for us to do that. So I just think if you don't have a community, well, first of all, if you don't have a community, come check out the My Sexy Business community. But second, also maybe set aside a half hour one day a month to give yourself that time to go through your own website and see what's working and what's not working.
So I'm going to put a little plug in here for Adam, because Adam is the interview king and media personality. He's got an entertainment platform that he's talking about, actually his website. And I'm giggling at him because season 5 of your podcast is coming like only days away. And can you imagine if you had not found that out before then? And then you'd have wondered why people weren't coming or why there was something disconnected. So I love that this example is living proof. It's like, and I want y'all to know we didn't plan that conversation either. We did plan telling on Carrie and I and our singing ability with the with the bones and making connections. But no, Adam, I think that's a great like example.
Thank you. I'm not going to say anything. I was just taking a breath. I know it looked like I was about to say something, but I was actually just taking a breath.
We were going to let him talk, right, Carrie?
I was waiting for the words. I thought, Adam's got words. Yay.
So the theme of our show today being making new connections, I feel like this is a great place to just throw out there to the world, like you said, Adam. If they don't already have a community, we encourage you to find one. And even if we're not your flavor, like come check us out. We have an open house every month. But even if we're not, don't do business alone. Like go out there and find others who will check things back and forth with you and who will work together with you. I just think that those things are very important. Business is better together, y'all. I'm going to stand by that. So when you have an understanding of what is not working, you can figure out how to connect the dots so you can celebrate making that new connection. And just like the bones in our body, we need to make sure our services and products lead others to the place they can find the solutions they are looking for. Happy making connections to you, my fierce entrepreneur who is becoming very well connected. Love y'all.
Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.